It's an inspiring day here at the DigiCon 2025, not just because the speakers and thought leaders are driving the energy today. It's the thousands of professionals, marketers, business owners, and innovators who came to learn, connect, and explore the future of personalized technology. Let's find out what people are discovering during this year's DigiCon experience. I'm Marco Ramos, and I'm taking you through the age of I here at the DigiCon.
Well, I think there's two parts, right? It's the point of view of the creative thinker, the one who creates these curated experiences, and the other half is actually using technology to be able to manifest that all out. And I think what I find really exciting about the industry, and as you can see it upstairs, we have so many different vendor partners, so many different people representing the ecosystem. We can really just expect a lot of this to really apply in the output that we see, whether for brands, even for social causes. So we have a few companies here, agencies even, that do it for social good. So imagine that we're applying this this ingenuity and let's say the technology to be able to apply to society. So yeah, very exciting, I should say. I'm very proud to say that DMAP is actually part of the ASC, or Ad Standards Council. And ASC really advocates for truth in advertising and all of other these initiatives. And DMAP regularly looks at the trends and what's happening. And as a result, you will find that from the stakeholders, we have new builds, new inputs. For the longest time, the association has had advocacy. And I'm happy to announce that next year, we're putting a very dedicated committee for policy development and advocacy to ensure that there's always responsible use of messaging, information, or platform usage. So yeah, that one, it's a sort of evolving story. Hence, that's how it happened. And I think impact can be measured in many different dimensions, right? The impact of sales growth, impact of being able to resonate with to customers, or let's say impact to society. So we have some award categories, if you take a look at it, that talk about equality, that talk about, let's say, doing social good. We are also very much partnered with other organizations like Investing in Women and other organizations like NGOs. So we really try to make it quite holistic. And one of our award shows is Boomerang Awards. That's really all about measurement, impact, efficiency, effectiveness. And the hope is that by providing these inspirational speakers who give case studies and to look at these different facets, people can really apply and make the impact real for their companies.
Any company that doesn't take AI seriously won't exist 10 years from now. So fundamentally, they can either get on board the train or they'll get run over by it. AI is here, it is a fact of life, it is the most powerful technology in history, and not taking AI seriously is like not taking the internet seriously 20 years ago. You're going to have a really, really bad decade ahead. Now, at the same time, there's a lot of AI that is too much hype, it doesn't deliver enough value. The task of any serious business leader today is to be able to sort through the difference between what is hype and what is real. But there is plenty that is happening that is transformative. There's almost not a single part of any industry or company that is not being transformed today by artificial intelligence. And the systems that we will have 2 or 3 years from now will make everything that we have today look like a child's toy. So actually, there's never been a more important moment as a CEO, I think, to pay attention to what is happening technologically. But certainly, I absolutely agree. There are lots of business leaders all over the world who don't take the future seriously. And I think that is the fastest way to become irrelevant in the future. There is a lot of debate happening within the big AI labs at the moment about when we reach artificial general intelligence, AGI. Most folks reckon we are less than a decade away. We might be as close as 3 or 4 years. So it's coming very quickly. It will take a little bit extra to scale that, but certainly it's going to be here within a decade. And that is going to transform everything about our societies and the nature of global order. It will obviously radically transform the nature of business, because when you have machines that can operate at the same level as people cognitively, absolutely that is going to be vastly challenging for existing ways that companies operate and for our workforces. And so I think we have less than 10 years from, as societies, and as companies from being able to say, what are people for? How do we give every person in our societies a good future when systems are coming that will probably dramatically change the nature of how work is done today? And I don't actually see a single society in the world as being well prepared for that future. So we're actually quite late in the day now to actually begin figuring out what is the full sweep of things. But certainly you look at anything economically, geopolitically, the effects on climate and sustainability, AGI will impact all of those things in dramatic ways. And they all are fundamental for whether we have a good future or not. So we've got to take it seriously.
The one key message, at least from my own point of view, is for people to start personalizing the way they interact with their customers. Because the technology and the platforms are already available, and that's what we're trying to unpack. That having a more personalized experience with their consumers will help their businesses. Because consumers already expect it. Studies around the world are already saying consumers want their experience with brands more personalized. In my opening speech, for example, I mentioned that we are already experiencing the bespoke experience and we just don't know that we are. For example, when you watch streaming TV na, for example, diba? You watch a movie many weeks ago and then the streaming app will suggest, hey, Alan, do you want to watch this today? And then it's the first time that you encounter this movie, but you try and watch it and then you liked it. Now, how did the streaming service know that you might like this one? Or even your credit card, it knows that you don't order coffee based on your purchase history, so it will suggest to you that you might want to try matcha or tea. So personalized experiences or bespoke experiences have been with us for quite some time. We just didn't realize that it's technology powering this. So what we want attendees to take away from the conference this year is that there are many ways now to be able to personalize the experience for their customers. And you don't need a large budget to be able to do it. That's why we invited platforms to even do their booth exhibits so they can talk more about their services to attendees of the conference. One of the possible barriers is that maybe they don't just have the skill sets yet to understand and appreciate the power of personalization. That's why even if you notice the theme, we didn't just single out AI. There's a play on the A and the I, but we didn't say the age of AI, right? Because AI is just one of the many tools in the technology war chest, diba? In the technology chest, there's real-time data reporting and all those things. So AI is just one of the many things. So the challenge really is for just upgrade, learn as much as you can, and that's what we're doing in the next 2 days to unpack this for a lot of the brands and companies to be able to understand the whole personalization aspect. First, we should not be afraid of technology, right? But it's also the role of these companies or platforms to be able to educate the audience and the market in terms of what is the impact of technology. One of the possible failures, quote unquote, of maybe some of the tech companies, they did not educate the market enough to say this is what technology can be for you. This is what technology can make your lives better. And it was just unleashed. Like for example, AI, ChatGPT and all that. I mean, the most classic example now is ChatGPT. They just unleashed it. No one really explained it. People who were curious tried it. Those that were curious enough to try it liked it. I mean, I was one of those, I want to play around with ChatGPT and see what it can do for me. But it was me. No one really, maybe from the platform side or from the tech side, explained this is how it can make your life better. And then so obviously, if you don't know much about this technology, it's scary. And you also wouldn't know that, maybe I need to upskill.
There's so much to learn from the DigiCon 2025 with its personalization theme and 5 pillars of I. And I'm totally up for the I. Incredible. This has been Marco Ramos for Open for Business.
Mga Kanet25, this is Cesar Vallejos of Open for Business. For more updates, just click the subscribe button and follow us on Net25 social media pages at Net25 TV and at Net25 Entertainment Facebook pages.